That was
For the
three
correct-
documents.
What I received as the 3 documents was
Agenda.
the agenda, the one I just handed you.
Foster.
No, not the Foster. This one,
Minutes.
this one, that was the 3. 1, 2, and the 3. That's the only 3 I got. See this?
Yeah.
So that, the minutes, which I
Where is it
fixed,
corrected?
that's what I'm telling you. This is not my document. I don't have it to correct.
Okay.
That's just a PDF that was sent to me to print.
Okay.
I can't edit that, yeah. So I don't even have it. It just gets put in the Dropbox. I think he may have it, but I don't know who did it. I don't know if Andy Easton did it or somebody else. I have no idea.
That's something I need to know about too.
What it was she had a couple corrections she wanted me to make on the minutes. There was a space I had missed
Oh,
in the title of the resolution. And the same on the agenda. I fixed those. And the other was the one form.
do we have a new agenda?
I gave it to you.
I guess
I
that's
just gave it
it.
to you.
I guess that
If
would
it's-
be it.
It's got my name on it. This one. This is the new one.
Okay.
Mark the other one. I just checked through it like that, so I know it's no good.
So this is your new one. And we didn't know until last night that it was even gonna have to change. It was literally after 5:30 before we figured it out. So that's when I changed it today and sent it out. But you should have everything on there.
This is, the fire department.
Yes, ma'am. The reason why they didn't come out the other day is because when I printed them in black and white, which is all I have access to, you couldn't see nothing, you couldn't tell what was what on there. So I wanted to have them done in color for y'all.
All right, thank you.
Okay?
That's it. I
Do you know if Miss
it's
Benita's coming?
I don't know.
You should understand.
Okay.
All of this would be for the.
This is the old one.
Your house.
Yep, this is the old.
Chunk it.
Got it.
Get out of here. I'm gonna sit in them. They confuse them.
I know.
Oh, this cause trouble.
It's very
We
confusing.
didn't know, just like I was telling them, I did not know until after hours. that I had the video on there.
Seriously.
Neither one of us knew. Yes, ma'am.
I request
Yes, ma'am.
the next package. Everything that goes together. Like all, he stayed together.
You want it all stapled?
Jen,
Okay. A clip, paper clip, gotcha,
and everything the order that,
gotcha.
and it's on.
Yes, it is confusing.
It's very confusing.
Well, when there's a lot of stuff to look at, I told him I felt like it would be so much easier for y'all if we had a tablet and I could group everything together on a tablet, and all you have to do is just look at
It's
that.
supposed to be given. I don't know what happened.
Is that something y'all think y'all would like? Because I can do an agenda in a minutes and then group everything else
You mean like,
together.
you mean like on a pad?
Yes, ma'am, like an iPad or.
We've already asked for that.
Is that something that you would like? Because I would definitely talk all this much.
I'll do that with paper.
I would.
Okay,
That way people would see everything.
right. Well, it would save a lot of paperwork. And this is the amount of paperwork I buried in.
But you don't have to like. Everything
Yeah,
would
I
be.
can't, no, I can make corrections or notes or whatever on here.
Which you would be able to on one of those, because they have a stylus that you can write on them with and make notes, handwriting. So you would be able to do anything like that, highlight it, circle it, question marks, whatever on there.
And it would surely save a lot of this that we throw in the garbage.
And that's exactly right, because I have stacks and stacks and stacks of this that I throw in the garbage like a lot, every time, every meeting.
It's happening.
Right now, what I need is the documents on this, and I brought 3 up here with corrections on. And then I'll put them in my bag. She said they weren't all hers. She just brought what was hers.
I like your haircut.
Oh, thank you.
I'm confused.
You what? Yeah, I am too.
So you got more, it looks like you need more paper.
Yeah, just what we need.
It's a colorful page.
Thank you.
Everybody gets to do something here. Yeah. Hey, I feel pretty good.
There you
I know. I just try to put it in order as it comes. Got a lot to keep you busy, huh? Thing is trying to get it on.
Okay. This is the meeting. He's out there talking to somebody.
I haven't read his legal brief yet, and I'm like, I wonder who wrote his legal brief, I don't see no. I'm sure that. I can't wait.
I didn't bring my side of your capital plan back either. I meant to. Just have to look for it.
When we get to it, we'll have one up here. On the page.
That's your phone? Yes, it did
Thoroughly confused.
About in my Apple Watch, whenever I hit something with a hammer or something, like I'm working, and start saying SOS, don't call 911. It's weird. Morning, afternoon, evening.
Turn it off.
Bill, you see.
What's that, dude? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Bill,
He said he wasn't gonna be here. I didn't remember that.
Remember, living.
everything having to do with CDBG
I
grant.
need something to put in my thing.
We group all of that together.
I need something besides water. Yeah, dude.
On the agenda.
Hydrate is not the whole word I was looking for.
That's
The short version of that big is.
I'm just gonna have to figure out.
Huh?
I said, I'm just gonna have to.
I don't know.
I feel the. Oh.
Anita.
Right on, so. Let me know when you're ready, John.
Engineer's presentation, I just checked it with my office, it's right.
Is it recording?
We're live streaming.
We are.
Yeah.
Hello, world.
Go ahead and get started, I'll go back and try to figure it out.
All right, we're gonna say the prayer. You
You
want-
want to pray? No, she doesn't want to.
Did you ask me?
Who wants to do it? We'll get the April 22nd, 2025 city council meeting called to order. Just a reminder to silence your cell phones. We have it open in prayer, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to meet here today to handle the business that come before us concerning the city of Perry. Dear Father, we're asking that you will guide this meeting so that we will make the best decisions possible concerning those issues. Asking that you will protect us, asking that this meeting will be held in a safe and orderly fashion. Father God, we're asking that you will heal our land. Asking that you will bring us together in love and in peace. These things I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
And I
Pledge
pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Anthony. Ms. Amy, if you would call the roll, please, ma'am.
Councilmember Brown. Councilmember Woodhull. Here. Vice Mayor Landry.
Here.
Councilmember Hampton.
Here.
Mayor Ketchum.
Here. Item number 3, approval of items on the consent agenda. Item A, approval to read by title only, ordinances 1050 and 1052. And section B, approval to read by title only, resolutions 2025-05 and 2025-06. Have a motion. Have a
Second.
Councilmember Woodhull.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
It's just.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Item number 4, receiving requests from the general public. Do we have anybody from the general public who would like to speak on anything not on the agenda? Not hearing anything, we'll move on to item number 5. Bids and RFQs. Do we have any? Says here we don't. All right, we'll move on to item number 6, general business. Agenda item 6A, Lauren Faison Clark to provide council an update on the Doctors Memorial Hospital, and the council will take any action deemed necessary. Hello.
Very much. My name is Lauren Faison Clark, and I live at 3428 Hospital Trail in Tallahassee, Florida. But I've been proud to serve as the CEO of Doctors Memorial Hospital since June of 2023. I also have with me Sarah Grambling, who is our Chief Operating Officer and Interim Chief Financial Officer, and Ashley Betty, who serves as our Chief Nursing Officer. And we just wanted to come before you for a few minutes just to share what's going on at the hospital. You have a couple of handouts in front of you that I brought you, one being our annual report from last year. And I will say, since coming here in June of 2023, I left TMH. It's been an incredible 2 years, incredibly challenging 2 years, as everyone in this room knows, between the storms and the economic challenges. But I need you to know that your hospital is thriving. You're growing, you're changing, you're adding services, and we're constantly improving the quality and the level of care we're providing here locally. We're very proud of that. So in the one pager you have front and back, you'll just see some of our financial metrics. One that I'll draw your attention to is the $2.42 million of uncompensated care we gave away last year for the uninsured and underinsured, as well as the $765,000 of capital improvements in our facility and equipment, and our over $12 million in our annual payroll. We have hired over 22 people this past year. These are good paying jobs. In the midst of economic challenges, we're constantly looking at how do we grow and how do we add to our staffing to provide services to the community. On the back, there's just some highlights from our year. One of the biggest things we did is improve our emergency room. I was a board member at Doctors Memorial with Mark O'Brien for 10 years before leaving TMH to join the staff. And one of the biggest opportunities and biggest challenges we always had was the quality of service provided in the emergency room. We had to take some bold action, and we were able to do that thanks to a grant from the Department of Health to improve the aesthetics and the equipment and the lighting and everything in the emergency room. But the more important thing we did was change our provider care in there. We terminated the contract with a third-party group, and we hired our own physicians and providers that work in the emergency room. And immediately, within 30 days, our quality metrics, all of our statistics improved almost immediately, and they continue to do that. We also significantly grown what we call our swing bed program, which is transitional rehab for people that need to be with us for several weeks after an illness or an injury or a major surgery. We're doing occupational therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy all day with our patients. We've had to add additional physical therapists because that patient volume has grown to likes it's never been at TMH. So we're very proud of that. We've also brought more specialists here. Again, with our partnership with TMH and other facilities, we've shown physicians the value of coming to Taylor County. We're very proud of one of the trauma surgeons who recently was unfortunately in the news stories about what happened at FSU is coming to Perry twice a month. Dr. Patton Pennington, who is the head now of the trauma program at TMH, is coming out to Perry to do surgery twice a month. That's a huge win for us. He's from Valdosta originally. He understands rural communities and wants to give back. And so we're very happy about that. Also bring out vascular surgeons, any type of specialty that can meet the folks in the local community so they're not having the hardship of traveling. We're trying to bring here locally. We're also expanding our primary care. We are adding providers to our family practice. We've just added one down at the plaza, and we're adding 2 more in August that are focusing on pediatrics. For the future, we are really looking at improving our facility. It's an old building. It's 21 years old. We recently secured a $1.6 million grant from the Department of Commerce to replace our roof. And during the storm, it got beat up. It was already old, and now we're in the process of having a new roof put on the building. We're also very focused on improving community health. In Taylor County, there are some of the worst health outcomes in the state of Florida. That's not where you want to be on the list. So we're doing a lot of focus on community education and community outreach. We got another grant from the Department of Health this year. We just built a walking trail next to the hospital. If you haven't seen it yet, come by and see it. It's open, you can walk on it. We're going to continually be doing things to improve it, putting benches, things like that, to help with our patients and visitors, getting people to move. Also in your packet is a flyer for our Health and Wellness Expo. This is on May 9th from 10 to 2. It's free for everybody to come out. We have over 45 vendors who are coming from several counties to come and make people aware of the health and wellness services that are available right here in Taylor County. Every vendor who's coming had to bring a giveaway, so there'll be lots of goodies and music and free food, and really want the community to come out and celebrate health, but realize there are a lot of services people are traveling to Gainesville, Lake City, and Tallahassee for that they can get right here in Perry and in our extended community. So we hope a lot of people will turn out for that. And again, we're constantly looking for additional funding resources. But as you see, we do a lot of care that we don't get paid for, and insurance rates continue to go down while costs continue to go up. And in the past year and a half, we have secured $2.8 million worth of grants, which is including the roof grant. So we're very proud of that. We're always looking for those opportunities. And we just wanted to make you all aware of the changes we're making and our dedication to serving the local community. And I'm happy to answer any questions. Yes, ma'am.
I've not had to spend much time in the hospital in the last few years, but recently I did make a visit to the ER, and I've also had surgery last year. And I must say the services have been just super, And I was so pleased. I do wonder about if you all have been able to do anything toward the dialysis.
I was confident that question would come up because we get asked it a lot. Since DaVita was destroyed, but the building they were renting was destroyed by the storm. We have met with their senior leadership several times. We had them on site. They brought their facilities guy because we were trying to see if there's some space we could let them use for this. They have not shown any reciprocal interest to be here. They have a facility in Madison. I'm sure they're aware of the hardship many families face, going
Yes.
3 times a week to Madison.
Yes.
But they have not been responsive as of yet to make that happen. It's not something we can do on our own. It's a very specialized service. It's not a core hospital service, but we're trying to see is there some way we can support it.
Is there another company that you can do?
There
with
is
it?
another company called Sinius. We're gonna reach out and see if there's something to do. It takes a lot of space, it takes a lot of equipment, it takes a lot of specialized training, but again, there's a way we can support it and help it. We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
And we tried, but we got excited when they initially had conversations with us and they sort of gone off.
Well, thank you for trying.
We're gonna keep trying. We're pretty spacious. So keep going. But I'm glad you've had good service. We've heard that from a lot of people. Oh, I never wanted to go there and I had to go, and oh my gosh, it was different. I love proving people wrong. I would invite each of you, if you want to come and tour, I'll give you a behind the scenes tour to see what's happening in your community. People don't realize what you can get right here.
Even the
So
food
trying
was
to spread
good.
that word. The food is very.
Yeah.
It's open to the public for breakfast and lunch. It's a very good deal. So we want people to come out. This is your community's hospital.
Yeah.
And so we want people to embrace it.
I was very pleased. Thank you.
I had a question, but thanks. I was hospitalized there February the 11th. I had flu and pneumonia. And I received fantastic care. As a matter of fact, I think they treated me pretty darn good. Yeah, so thank you, Sarah.
We've been very aggressive in recruiting back nurses who are driving to other communities to work, and therapists, driving for a couple bucks more an hour. We've reinvested in our staff to get them to stay home because that's where they want to be.
Mhm.
We've got two longtime locals right here who are giving the heart and soul of the hospital. And so we're very proud of the fact because we can't do it without them. So thank you. I'm very glad to hear this. And if you ever have a problem, you know about it. If we don't know that something's bad, we can't fix it.
That's
So we wanna
right.
know.
That is true, that is true.
Well, I've been hearing a lot of good things myself, and I'm really glad the hospital's here.
Yeah,
It's, we always talk about economic development and all this. That's one of the first things a lot of people look for is healthcare.
Absolutely.
And an hour away usually doesn't work for people,
Exactly.
or even 30 minutes. So it's about a part of the community. I mean, not just, I mean, just the healthcare of the community. So, very important.
My mom had a
Wait.
traumatic fall about 2 months ago, and she had to have follow-up surgery, and I brought her out here to have her surgery, not to go to Tallahassee. And she was just blown away by the quality of care and how personal it was. So I think that's a testament. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got, just a couple. I used to work for DMH back in '05, and when the ambulance service got switched over, we ended up going with Century. But I just want to commend you on the change that you have made in that place.
I appreciate it. It takes a whole lot of people.
Oh, yes, and you got a good team
You
now.
got a good team, yeah.
And that's the thing, they live in this community, so they know the community needs. So I just want to commend you on that.
I appreciate that very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item 6D. Fair housing meeting for CDBG application and take any action deemed necessary. This is applying for a community development grant. Okay.
I think we can talk about.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
My name's Andy Easton. I'm here to say a few short words on fair housing. This is an advertised fair housing meeting, and it's an opportunity to explain what fair housing is to the general public and for y'all to ask any questions you'd like. But I think you did get a handout what the agenda is about the fair housing in your packets there. And Fair Housing Act is from the Civil Rights Act of 1968 as amended in 1988. Federal law, there's also a state of Florida statute that mirrors the federal law. And there's a local ordinance that the city of Perry has. This is all related to fair housing. And the Fair Housing Act makes it illegal to discriminate in fair housing transactions based on race, color, national origin, religion, gender, familial status, and disability. And so that's what the Fair Housing Act is, and this handout, and it's available in the town if anyone is interested. There's some phone numbers on this and websites. If you have any questions or complaints about fair housing, you can contact them, and you can also contact the town of Perry, the city of Perry, and then they'll contact me. We can see if you have any, see if we can address your fair housing questions. So that's basically all I have to say about fair housing. Well, let's do some questions. So thank you very much, and we'll collect the documentation you had, and we'll go into the grant.
I had a couple of questions. On the race, color, national origin and all that stuff. What if they're illegal? Can you deny it if they're illegal?
Well, I don't know that.
I don't think you would be able to, no,
What?
I don't think you would be able to do that, no.
You don't think you would deny it, or
No.
do you think you would allow it,
Would allow it.
even if they're illegal?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
I'm not speaking against someone because they're illegal.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's a question that hasn't been asked before, but I guess there's a distinction between a resident and a person and a citizen. And I think the act is, it's written illegal to, discriminate against persons based on, so I mean, just you can look into that, or that's a question that could need further research.
Okay, the other thing is, on the other side there, refuse to provide you information regarding mortgage loans, deny you a mortgage loan. If a person has poor credit, you're not allowed to deny them a mortgage loan?
Well, it's the, if it's based on race, color, national, you're not allowed to, if they have otherwise good credit. I would presume.
That's what I'm saying, if they don't have good credit.
Right, then obviously they-
Okay, but this says refuse to provide you with information, deny you a mortgage loan.
Well, I think, for example, if someone called up and asked for information about mortgage loans and you refuse to give them information, that might be a violation.
There's a difference in refusing to provide you and denying you the loan.
So if the reason that you're denied the loan based on any of these factors, then that would be against the law. But obviously, if you deny them a loan based on credit, then that would not be against the law.
It's not against the law.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it means deny you a loan based on those factors. That's what that means.
Say it again.
If you deny someone be based on race, color, etc., that would be against the law. If you deny them a loan.
I understand that.
Right. That's what that means. Not if you have bad credit. You of course deny the loan if they have bad credit.
If they have bad credit, what?
You can deny them.
You can deny them. Okay, but it says, okay. Against the law to deny you a mortgage loan. Okay,
Based on those.
based on
Based
this,
Yes.
Based on
but based on your credit, you
you
could
can
deny
be
it.
denied, yes.
Okay,
Or basically any other reason, I guess, besides the ones we listed. Anyway, what action do we need to take?
is this just information or do we
This is
need?
just to allow the public to ask questions and to provide information about. So
The
that's-
council asks questions, the public can now.
Does anybody have any questions about this? Okay, thank you. All right, agenda, item. Is there anything else you need to?
Well, but was there the first public, of the second public hearing, is that the next time?
Yes.
We can open that meeting. Now, if you want.
All right, agenda item 6C. Second public hearing for CDBG grant application and council to take any action deemed necessary.
That's-
So, yeah, if you'd like, I'd like to explain what the second public hearing is.
I'm sorry.
Now, I'll explain what the second public hearing
Okay.
is. The purpose of the second public hearing is to inform the public that the city is applying for community development block grant funds. And the application was asking for funding to construct a new fire station.
Mhm.
And they had a special rule for this grant funding, there's no limit to how much you can apply for. Also, you can have other grants open as well. Usually you have to close out your current community development grant before you apply for another. But in this case, they waived it, so they have a lot of waivers of the rules, so we're expecting a whole lot of applications this cycle. And so the grant application amount is in the $6 million range. And it's for 11,000 square foot building. And the grant application deadline is May 16th. I'm sorry. Well, they extended it, I guess, because municipalities called them up and said they needed more time to do their application. So that means they're gonna get even more applications. But there's really no way to determine with the auditor being funded, other than to put an application and see if it's funded. Now, I'd like to say too that, we're doing this, a door-to-door survey around the city to find out the income of the area. And that application, if you don't get funded for this site, then it also will apply for the some disaster funding that's coming also in the next couple of months, 2 or 3 months. There's some special CDBG funding for disaster. So you're in a good position to apply for funding on May 16th and then 2 or 3 months down the road. Some additional. So we'll just have to see if you get them.
That's sign sheet, is that just for them or?
Well, we did pass it around, let's speak with some. Right,
Yeah.
oh. Yeah. So that's really all the purpose of this meeting is to, ask the public any questions or y'all have any questions.
Does anyone have any questions about this grant application? Anyone else? Not, I guess we'll close the public hearing. Thank you. We need to vote on this tonight or no? In the second hearing.
This is something.
Yeah. Then down to 6D, resolution 2025-05, enabling resolution. Resolution of the City Council of Perry, Florida, authorizing the mayor to make application to the Florida Department of Commerce for approval of a community development block grant sponsored by the city of Perry, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
Section 4. I think we need to make a correction where it says the mayor, vice mayor, then it says city clerk, should be city manager.
City clerk. Top line of that, yeah.
It's fine either way, I'm the city clerk too.
Huh?
I'm the city clerk too, it's fine either way.
Okay, but on the word
City
vice mayor is misspelled.
Yeah,
And sometimes it's basically, but they're-
So you serve as clerk and, okay.
Get 2 paychecks to go with that.
well, change that to city clerk, when you have city manager,
Type it up, but it's fine, it's gonna allow us to do what we need to do.
still got to make changes.
Fine. Sure, we signed tomorrow about. Go with this one, I guess, not today. Same thing, either way.
So you just need a motion. Motion.
Have a second?
Second,
Roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilmember Lowe,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes,
Vice Mayor Landry,
yes.
Mayor Kim.
Yes. Agenda item 6E, resolution 2025-06, local match resolution. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Perry, Florida, authorizing city funds to be used as local match for a proposed FY 2023-2024 Community Development Block Grant. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I didn't hear it all like that.
Okay. Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, Neighborhood Revitalization Grant Application, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
Board I'll give some max points on the application.
Why is it, did you say why it was 23 and 24?
I don't know why they do it that way. That's a PDBG thing.
But that's correct.
Don't have any questions?
That's the only question I had.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept.
Councilmember Woodball,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6F. Continuing the engineering presentations and discussion, and council will take any action deemed necessary.
Right, you did like a 30 second of you, probably know what y'all did and what strategies.
Hi, my name is Daniel Howard with Certified.
Pull your mic down. Thank you.
Yes.
It hasn't sounded really good. My name is Rachel Howard with Certified. Okay. I work for a nonprofit, and so we're a third party that independently reviewed your responses to your RFQ for engineering services. So we went through and ranked each 5 of your responses, as well as conducted interviews based on the referrals that the engineers provided. So really, at this point, I was under the impression that you guys wanted to select 3 consultants. And then there was a council member, I believe, that requested interviews as well. And so we just asked the top 3 based on the rankings to come and provide a 3 to 5 minute presentation, and then just be present if you have any questions. I don't know, also, I didn't know if you had it ordered, John. You got that step.
Okay. Number 1, NFPS, North Florida. Is that right? In Florida, okay. The others
Can step out if they want to. I like to.
Where's Bill?
He's just not here. He's not here. He said, Amy said he was not going to be here tonight.
Is Mr. Wells?
Some kind of procedure.
Yes.
you ready to go, John, or you want to wait?
For the presentation.
Okay.
You said FPS.
Yes.
Good afternoon, council members, mayor,
Hi.
I'd ask, on behalf of North Florida Professional Services, we'd like to thank you for the opportunity to be able to present to you today and for your consideration with the continuing services contract. John, are you running the slides? Next slide. Okay, so a little bit about North Florida Professional Services. So our mission is to help our clients achieve their goal, providing timely, accurate, cost-effective engineering, grant, and planning services. Our firm provides exceptional, dedicated services to this region. While we understand a priority is maintaining the rural lifestyle, rural beauty and cap around us. Our client commitment is working with our rural communities. We have several continuing services contracts within the area. And what we want to be is we want to be an extension of your staff. When you have those needs, those infrastructure needs, we want to support you with those needs moving forward. We're committed to your success and to your projects. And with each project, we identify a careful and professional manner to move it forward. Next slide. So just a little bit more about North Florida Professional Services. We are a full service engineering firm located in Lake City. We have an office in Jacksonville, Panama City, and also in Tallahassee. The company's founder, the company has been in business since 1990. The founders are still with us, and I'll go over those folks in just a minute. But we specialize in helping the rural communities within our area. Small governments provide the best infrastructure. When you have infrastructure needs, we help support either helping move those projects forward and also can help with finding grants that will help fund those projects moving forward. We are committed to quality in everything that we do. We are stakeholders in our communities. Many of the communities that we serve, we live in. Next slide, please. So just to give you a little bit more about the innovation and technology that we use, some state-of-the-art cutting technology, mobile LiDAR and drones. On the survey end, we have that allows us to capture a lot of data for moving projects forward. It also helps us keep our personnel out of the road. It helps enhance safety. It's a very helpful tool for us. And again, it gives us a lot of data, a lot of information that we can use to move the projects forward and to really work on some of the intricate details. We've got digital levels, which again, just help with the accuracy of our survey information that we're collecting. And then with efficient use of our resources, we've got robotic total stations, less resources to go out in the field, and we can collect the information just as fast. With everything that we do on the engineering side, we start off with models. That's where we start, and those are big files. And so we have the gamer computers, we have the high-end computers that we run all of our workstations with. So again, top of the line, state-of-the-art equipment, and all that helps with is efficiency and making sure that we're moving those projects forward as fast as we can to help the communities out. Next slide, please, sir. Some best practices that we have, just to share about how we engage in our activities with the communities. We have a project field review checklist. So that's something that we take out to every project. We review the checklist against the survey information and then also against the field information to ensure that what's being proposed is going to work. It's not going to cause any downstream effects. We also have streamlined details. Again, that just helps with efficiencies. So we're not going to reinvent the wheel every time. We've got details that we can recycle and reuse that help move the projects forward. Coordination meetings, especially with stakeholders and milestones. One of the things that we have been doing is that all of our 60% review meetings, we have a field meeting and we invite staff to come out and we look at the job, we walk the job and make sure that everybody is engaged and make sure that if there's any issues or concerns, there's opportunities to be able to vet those out. Make sure that the project is meeting the goals of the intent of the project. And then QA/QC process. Our process is built on continued improvement. We use a Bluebeam software and we've got checks and back checks. We have an assigned QC manager who's going to be with the project as the project moves through. And then with construction collaboration. So we have a CEI group that also works with us and we get their insight and we get their opinion on some of the improvements that are proposed to move forward. Make sure again that there's no issues as the contractors are out there building the projects. They're seamless and they're successful. Monthly CAD meetings, just updating our folks as changes happen. They always happen, whether it's through software changes or through criteria that we're designing against. We just make sure that all of our staff members are up to date with the latest and greatest information. And then a hallmark for NFPS is establishing connections and building relationships. Again, we want to be an extension of your staff. So when that need comes, we can help support you and move those projects forward. This was the org chart that was proposed on the continuing services pursuit. And I just want to go over a little bit more of who we are through this org chart. So John, if you would, next slide, please. So this is our executive leadership team. Again, we've got 180 years of experience. Greg Bailey and Bill Bishop are the founders, and they're still active in the company. Brian Roche, he's over in Jacksonville, came from JDA. He has got 35 years of experience. Executive level has designed many utility systems, very experienced. Myself, I came from FDOT, I have 24 years of experience. Megan Carter is our administrative director. She graduated from Florida State, has her business degree, 19 years of experience. And then Robin Smith, who has 23 years of experience, and he came from the city of Jacksonville. He was their chief engineer, and he is our site director. So just a little bit more below and out the teams, 46 years of experience with the roadway group. We've got Kellen Bailey, who is recently passed his speed. He's got 7 years of experience. Clint Capps is our QA/QC manager. So he's the one that actually managed those projects on the QA/QC side all the way through. Slide. And then Brian on our utility side, we've got working with him, Ricky Hendricks, has 24 years of experience. He has he's a very technical engineer, has got a lot of different, very diverse experience working on different utility systems. And then Trevor Knowles, who has just recently passed his TI, he's going to be looking to sit for his PE very soon. He works with Brian on the utility side. Our construction team, a lot of experience, and that's with Bill. And then we lead into our inspectors. So we got Michael Bishop, Kyle Markham, and Matthew Booz. All those guys have several years of experience. Daniel Crafts, he is our structural engineer. So again, a service that we can provide. We've got him on board, and he's done a very, very complex, from building to roadway to bridges, structural design. And then James Smith is our survey director, and you can see the team underneath him. Just to note that Gabe and Blake are survey. So just like the PE program, there's also a survey program, and they are surveyors in training, just waiting for the time to be able to take their test. And then Mark Thomas, who is our certified building official, and he helps support a lot of communities with a lot of the inspections that they need. Robin Smith, again, our site director. So working with him is Tori Humphreys. He's got 23 years of experience. Darren Kilcoy, he's actually a PE. He passed his PE, but he's just waiting for his time to be able to officially claim that title. And then Zulia will be sitting for her PE, for her EI very soon. And then what separates us a little bit from some is we've got a little on our administration side, we're a little bit unique and different. We've got Dale Williams, who is the business development director. He was the Columbia County manager for 30 plus years, got a lot of experience, but he really understands the concerns and needs of local governments. And then Jimmy Norris, who was the economic director for Suwannee County. He's now working with us as the economic development director. And then alongside him is Brandon Stubbs, who is our planner, our planning manager. He worked with Columbia County for 20 plus years. And then Barbara, Debbie, and Felicia, and Dana all help with our pursuits and helping to put all of our proposals together. So they're kind of our legs on many of our pursuits. They help us out a lot. Next slide, please. And so our pre-qualifications for FDOT pre-qualifications, all transportation 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. So that means we can go up to major interstate reconstruction projects. We have those capabilities in-house. And then as far as signing pavement marking, signalization, we can do anything related to those two items. Roadway CEI 10.1, and then again the planning 13.5 and 13.6. We recently did get pre-qualified for surveying 8.2, and we are still continuing to work on 8.1 and 8.3. So we, of course, plan to have that very soon. It's just working with FDOT to get those pre-qualifications acknowledged, but we have 8.2 now. Next slide. So that's it in a nutshell. I just wanted to share a little bit about Northport Professional Services, the services that we provide. And again, thank you for the opportunity to be able to present to you and to work with y'all hopefully. And then, again, to be able to work back in the hometown. So thank y'all.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Typically, my main point of contact. We hired 3 people, we don't have any issue working with. Really,
That's all one.
CPH.
Mayor, council members, manager, staff, Greg Lang, UPH, Ms. Howard. We're gonna keep it brief, 3 to 5 minutes. We didn't even bring a PowerPoint. We're gonna keep it low tech. We brought 2 boards. And then we'll ask any questions. But what we wanted to kind of touch on is not so much our qualifications, that's in our response. You look at your TV was broken and you looked at the big book we submitted, you know that we are quality engineers. We've been working for 44 years here in Florida, and we can cover all the bases that you need. So I'm not going to touch on qualification, but we'll answer any questions you have. So in the 3 to 5 minutes, we want to touch on some real world examples of what we do. And John, introduce yourself.
I'm John Petrovich, close alongside Greg, our engineers.
Yeah, can see it. And then we can turn around to the public. So there's a real world example on how we hope we can take our skill sets and work for the city of Perry. This is the city, I can slide a little bit, sorry. It's called Fort Meade down in Central Florida. Old sewer system, much like you have, a lot of clay pipe, much like you have this manhole, the date on it, 1913, 112 years old. We looked at the entire city sewer system, mapped it, found the worst areas, and then started looking for funding. Because like Perry, very financially constrained. They are city, county seat of Polk County, the oldest city in that county. So we found some funding over a number of years, total of 21.6 million. Only loan that they took on was 1.8 million. That was paid with revenues from their wastewater bills. So, and the last bill was, the last revenue came in with a grant the governor brought for 6.1 million. So we're actively working on their sewer system today. We have probably 5 more years to get it tuned up. And it wouldn't have happened unless our shop, John and I, and our staff really worked first on the funding. Because when I met with the manager and the city officials in Fort Meade 10 years ago, they said, yeah, we have all these needs and we don't have the funding and we can't raise our rates on our customers much at all. So we understand where you're at. We understand what's happened here over the last 2 years. My hometown is Cedar Key, those storms that came through the coast and came through Cedar Key. I have homes destroyed around me. I know what it did up here and we know you need a lot of help. So we can look at our grant expertise and bring out help. And then once we can bring you the grant expertise, we know how to do the work. I just threw this board together for your consideration. It's just pictures of Cedar Key actually, and the CRA there, Community Redevelopment Agency. And we worked on a lot of rural development money, SRF money, CDBG funding for a number of projects. I'm not going to bore you with all of them, but whatever was needed at the time. We had saltwater intrusion, so we needed some reverse osmosis help. We had to replace a lot of water and sewer lines. I actually put together a volunteer team to look at all our ancient oak trees to make sure utility crews didn't damage it when they put in new lines. You know, we really want to become an extension of your staff. That's the other message I wanted to bring here, is that we understand too, your staffing is limited. We understand that you can't build that expertise in-house. It's too costly. And that's the beauty of working with us. We work behind the scenes. We don't cost anything. We don't charge anything to the city for putting applications together or working with your grant administrator, Andy Easton. We've worked with him before in other communities, whatever the program requires. And then our expectation is if we help bring funding in, then we can earn our paycheck and get the engineering work going. So that's how we work. I think I'm at about 3.5, 4 minutes right now. And I'm really going to stop right there and answer any questions because that's probably more important than us going on about engineering or grant funding.
I could keep going.
Well, that's really the gist of it. And that's what I wanted to relay is that we have all the expertise in-house. Our firm total size is of 450 individuals. We have architects, planners, engineers of all types, road engineers and wastewater and water and so forth. So we can handle all the engineering. But what's most important, I think, for tonight is that the grant funding expertise we've developed over the last 35 years is what's really important to Perry. And most of the communities we serve, they're mostly small and mid-sized, like Perry, like Fort Meade, like Cedar Key. And without that behind the scenes work, we can't really solve enough problems for you. So that's what we want to bring home. And that's it. That is 5 minutes.
All right.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, next we have, if I pronounce this right, Ardura.
Now I'm gonna time you. You gonna time me? No, yeah, we were on time.
Thank you, everybody.
Good.
My name is Amir. Thank you, some of you. Most of you know, I have Joey Cruz, who's in Fort Walton office, and Shaquille, he had worked with you guys before, so I'm gonna go quick on these presentations. So the agenda basically give you our introduction, our project team experience, and then, you know,
permitting and funding, work with city a lot, and then, some of what we went through there. Excellent. So we have about 1,800 employees, and we have actually 22 offices in Florida. We gave you the nearest offices here. We have 50 plus union contract, and we are one of the top national trusts. Next slide. My name is Amir. I have Shaquille and Joey with me. Our bio is there. I have 25 years of experience working with your water sewer system, treatment plants, you name it, we have worked one way or the other. Shaquille worked with us, and he has worked with the majority of the water system, the treatment plants, and Joey is our sort of regional manager. He brings to the table a lot of expertise in underground utilities, so we do have in-house capabilities of, locating utilities. We do a lot for the many municipalities. So these are our, experiences. We have continued contracts with all of these municipalities. And we've been working for them for more than 20 years. Next slide. Just to give you some flavor of our work, this is a treatment plant we did for Okaloosa County. It's a fairly large size, but, it's similar to your facility. It has clarifier and oxidation rich, so similar to your facility. And I know you have some capacity. Right now, it's your facility that capacity. So with my former firm, we were working with you guys on resolving something. Next slide. These are some of our experience and services we offer. On the right hand side, it tells you what we offer, starting from water, wastewater, transportation, aviation, civil, surveying, any of the engineering, GIS service, you name it, we have people in the company. On the left-hand side, these are the services, treatment facility. We have worked in your treatment facility, same thing as your water treatment facility. Should we have worked on the facility? Both of those facilities shown on the pictures. And then we have done a couple of master planning for you, and we do a lot of work with pump stations. Next slide. So these are our experiences with different funding agencies. RIF, which I think city currently have 3 grants. We were instrumental in getting those. SRF, we have 1 contract right now. I think the city got the grant. And USDA, which many works with the city on those, and we work with her many times. And state appropriation, I think we hired a lobbyist, and then the water quality grant. Also, we have worked with you on securing almost 10 plus grant, in over $10 million. Why, us? So I can tell you that is we are familiar with the city. And then we utilized for quite a long time. We are familiar with the funding, what is available, what's coming, and we work with a lot of your staff and your other consultants who work with on securing some of those grants. And we have a lot of resources. Not to say if we need to we always do local, if we don't have expertise within Florida. But if need to be, if you have a tight deadline like we have here, we have to fill out an application in 3 days, probably from outside application. So, but that's one of the key that if we need to, we can bring it. So we, a matter of hours, we just mobilize. Next slide. So I just put it in. We are a local team and multidisciplinary. We have experts if needed, but we are local. And then we have ample resources, and we provide a lot of similar services to about 50 plus. With that, I'll say the last word.
Now, just kind of echo what you're saying is we have a lot of continuing services, but they're mainly with a lot of small utilities. That's where our niche is. We like trying to develop a relationship, work alongside of you to make sure that you're getting the best benefit. We're giving you every opportunity you can to save money, but also help improve your infrastructure. That's our motto. That's how we operate.
That will take any questions anybody have.
Any questions, Brent, for him? Thank you.
Somebody wants to say or?
Talking about water quality, always, I thought we did that.
Say again, I'm sorry.
Thought Facebook post on water, a little bit of everything. Did you have any questions for me or about disinfectant my products or any of that kind of stuff? So like the letter we had to send out, newspaper and mail. I want to available. Go ahead, questions about that.
I don't right now myself.
Yes, right.
John, if you have any
So
questions?
if you know, until you all put in. So we're not using well number 7.
No, we are using well number 7, and if you look at the actual sample results, the samples at the prison site have been steadily low and very good numbers. It's the other sample site that we're seeing the issue at. That's on the far end of town. It has the longest distribution time in the system. So we're still seeing an issue out there. I've got a few ideas on how to address it, but that's where the issue is right now.
Is that the one down Puckett Road? It's the end of the line or something?
It's mainly because of the distance from the plant. It's
Gotcha.
the farthest away from it with the least amount of flow. It's all residential and it's all 6-inch mains. So the only thing that we can do without getting into more treatment options right now would be to try to pull water to the south end of town, Flushing. And I just got a few ideas of how to address it right now, but just haven't had time to really implement it.
But this is a different site to what we've been,
We have 2 different sample sites that we use. One of the sample sites has been good, solid, good numbers. The other sample site is the one that we had to address with the letter.
okay, but that's the same one that has given us problems all
They've
along.
both given us problems in the past,
Okay,
but now one of them is doing much better than the
yay. At least that's
The one that's
progress.
done much better
other.
is,
Consistently lower numbers, staying well below the MCLs, but the other one has been staying on the higher end, so.
That was a plan we designed. I was the design engineer.
Yeah.
The site they're doing. A good number, you see good numbers.
Some of that has to do with some things going on at airport ground storage tank right now, which we just got most of that dealt with our USG company, the ones who've done tank maintenance. So as soon as we get other issues resolved at that station, we'll be in better shape, but I have some ideas to address.
Thank you.
Yeah, long term, I think you remember, but a year, 2 years ago, we gave you some recommendations, so I think we have addressed half of it, the other half still needs to be addressed.
Is that a matter of funds or?
We are looking at it, so you have to complete one project at a time, that's how the funding works, so we completed the one side of it, not the other.
Okay,
So I think that's something we need to look at it. in the future. I think there are some funding opportunity as is coming up with the next, I would say, John is August, right? Yeah. So we did one application yesterday, so this one is coming in June or July. So maybe good for us to look at it together.
thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let them step out, so we can.
Put it on salad, it still makes noise.
Got put over by.
Yeah, so it was really key that you guys were thinking about hiring 3. So those were your top 3 and those were the presentations. Unless you have a local procurement policy that states you need to do anything further, you are good to go ahead and put them on contract. Or if you want to, do less than 3, then that's up to the city, but there's really nothing else that's needed at this point, just to agree on who you would like to select.
Would each one be addressing a different problem? Are they gonna work together on the whole project or?
That's up to the city. Typically, if you have a project, you can select whichever engineer, if you, especially if you have him on contract. As long as the project cost falls under CCNA requirements, then since they're already on continuing services, you can go ahead and use them without having to advertise. So that's kind of the benefit of having an engineer on service.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so if you have three, then you have options, for different types of projects, whichever one you like to use.
I know,
Different ones, they do better.
Yeah.
you know, in the aviation world, in the aviation world, we have, there's some airports that have a dozen engineers. It's,
18 or 19, they approved all of them.
Yeah.
yeah, 'cause I mean, one may be good at roads, one at water, one at sewer, just
Yeah.
never know.
It's just based, I mean, I know them because I worked with these firms with other communities, but just going based off their presentations, it did look like some may have streets that other ones don't. So it, you know, I think it's good to diversify, but that, again, that's ultimately up to the city. So if you'd like to hire all three, I think you're good. There's really nothing else that's required as far as the selection process goes.
It's not gonna cost us any more to hire three than it will one, will it? It means the projects are gonna be the same, the engineering's gonna be the same.
The rates were not included in the proposals, so I don't know their cost, but when you have a project, I mean, obviously, if you go enter into a contract with them, then they should have their rates listed out, obviously, you can hire them, but that would, you know, things like that, you could use to help determine if you wanted to use them on a specific project. So,
They're probably not gonna be that far apart, I'm guessing. I mean, I don't know that. I haven't seen their prices, but they're usually not that far apart.
I wouldn't think so. And I printed out an extra copy of all the rankings that we did, if you guys need to look at them, but I think last meeting you were able to discuss that pretty thoroughly, so.
What do you suggest, John?
Enter in the contract with all three of them.
Okay.
It just gives you options that prevents you from having to advertise again. if the
Sure.
project-
Do you need a motion?
I don't think that.
Motion.
Motion, go second.
Councilmember Woodhull,
Yes.
Just tell them they're good.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes,
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6G. MOU with the Second Judicial Circuit, and the council will take any action deemed necessary.
This is,
Tallahassee Circuit.
the agreement that we have with First investigations from outside of our area into Tallahassee region. And we've worked out an agreement to be able to do those as you come forward in the area.
Do you have a motion?
Wait.
When I see task force, that makes my ears go up. But this has nothing to do with our slide.
No.
Okay. Did you make a motion?
I'll make this motion.
Second.
Councilmember Woodhull,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
yes,
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6H. First reading of ordinance to amend Perry Municipal Police Officers Retirement Trust Fund. And the council will take any action deemed necessary. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida, further amending the City of Perry Municipal Police Officers Retirement Trust Fund. Restated by ordinance number 881, as subsequently amended. Amending section 5, contributions, amending section 6, benefit amounts and eligibility. Amending section 8, disability, amending section 9, vesting. Amending section 28, deferred retirement option plan or drop. Amending section 29, reemployment after retirement. Providing for codification, providing for severability of provisions, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing for authority and manner of adoption and providing an effective date. Then we'll try to figure out what all that means.
I'm Eric Campbell, Charlie Chapman,
Mike, use the mic, use the mic.
Basically, it sounds a lot more complicated. We're asking basically for two things.
dropping our senior investment to 8, try to be more aligned with the state, make it more attractive. Get harder and harder, especially like with the state possibly getting 20-25% raise for law enforcement, especially in a small town, it really dries up our pool of applicants. Second thing is we're an 8-year drop. Like I said, that's also kind of all in line with the states. Like I said, all the other stuff is basically once we change one thing, we have to change it all because all the different categories. The good part for the city, it's not going to cost you anything. We've decided basically with a unanimous vote of all the active people who will retire to pay into it. And our increase would be like a 0.7. So we're going to go from 3.1 to a 3.8 that we pay.
Here's a portion of the actuary statement. There's a portion of our actuary statement that shows the city will not be contributing anymore. The 0.7% is solely on the officers that are contributing. They're contributing to the.
We just received this at what time, 4 o'clock today?
It was also in the copy of the one, which is basically a thing I like to just show you the one change.
Like I said at the last meeting, of course, I'm not too versed at this. You work 20 years and you retire, you come back in what, 1 year?
There's no time limit on that. But see, that our retirement does not follow that, so
Then you
can't get another retirement. You would come back and contribute to the one you've already got. So it's not like the state retirement, you have to be out 6 months. If you're going to school resource, you got that year, if you're going to a regular FRS retirement. You can't get another retirement. You can only add to the one that you're already drawing for benefit after you work that extra 8 to 10 years.
Basically, it's still like they don't can't get any more than 100. Yeah, like for me, I come back, I retired at 20 years. Got ag, hated it, come back and see it here. Now I have to work another 8 years if we do change it to get it. I work off of that, but I can never make more than 100% of my salary, which would have been no change if I would have stayed 31 years. Yeah, it's going to be the same retirement. It's not, you can't double dip with it. State law, I'll get up to 100% of your retirement.
For the record, that's how it already is. The only things that we're asking to be changed is the investment change from 10 to 8 years and the drop extension. And on the forms that y'all were given, it shows that the city will not be contributing anymore. The 0.7% that's added to make up that loss of 2 years is on the officers individually. And the drop change doesn't add or take away any money because the officers are already retired. They're already full in the pension. That doesn't add any money by extending the drop date.
Most of our officers that we're getting now are basically brand new out of the academy. It's hard to get an experience. If you come with somebody with experience from another agency, you go, hey, we're going to have to work at least 10 years and then be 55 where you can draw in. That's a lot, a decade. 8 years, they're like, okay, that's kind of in line with the state. And you can work not the state years, we can work a year and then draw retirement once we get 55. It just makes it more appealing to try to.
One last question. I'm always watching the news. And they're saying that retirement funds are really being impacted on life. Somebody help me out with that. Our retirement funds.
I don't want to do.
You know about retirement funds?
I thought we went down here later.
Are you asking about, are you asking about the police officers, our fund itself? It's mainly dependent on the investments that we've chosen, and it has exponentially grown over the last several quarters. And it's projected that that's going to continue to grow, and our fund will be well insured, for the lack of a better term, because of the investments that we've chosen.
I've been on the retirement board probably, I'd say around 14 to 15 years now. I want to say when we took over, it was at 4 million and we're up to 9 to 10. I mean, we've had, bad years, good years. And of course, stock market, it goes up and down, but overall ours have been actually quite successful. We're doing good.
Lately, it's just been down.
State law also mandates what you can invest in these retirement funds. You can't just go out for blue chips and high risk value stocks. It has to be things that are long-term growth related, that the risk is reduced because of that. And we have an attorney for the retirement plan and the pension board to make sure we're invested responsibly in this fund. She's nodding her head yes, because she has sat on retirement meetings before.
I'm on the fire board.
For the fire
Been on it
board,
for
which
6
is,
years.
it's a similar setup.
Mhm.
And I do know that the contribution amounts into the police pension fund is less on the city than the FRS pension payments that the city's making for regular employees. So our fund is more sound, to make sure we make the payments to those that are eligible than FRS is. We're in better shape than FRS.
And the check we're asking for, because that's completely funded by the officers. We're asking you to.
It keeps going up. That's good.
Well, the 8 years, and the 8 years still give you, what are you, 5 now with the, drop? Same as the 5 right this minute, but I'll give you 8.
Give it 3 more.
Well, they went they went out to 3 more years to try to retain some people because they were having trouble finding people to stay working. Is that?
You want to keep institutional knowledge as long as you can.
Yeah.
In the skilled areas, and
Right.
that's that effort.
Right.
That's what we need to balance out. Like I said, most of all people we're hiring are brand new, most of them are young, just out of school.
Yeah.
And we're actually losing a lot of our experience.
And you need that experience.
You do, yeah.
And part of the goal with this is if we get a 30-year veteran from, let's say, a huge agency, he's wanting to get a second job and not work a whole nother career. 8 years is way more appealing to a guy that's got 30 years who just needs an extra paycheck versus having to sit and wait 10 years to pull that second pension. It is much more appealing in that nature.
So Joe, we just need a motion.
This is first hearing.
Oh, that's the first one. I would say enemies.
The state used to be a 6, didn't they? At one time.
Around
Yeah. 6, 10, then back to 8.
10, 6.
Yeah. So, any more discussion? Any more questions from anybody? All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Okay, agenda item 6I, public hearing and final reading on ordinance number 1052 for purchasing regulation updates, and council will take any action deemed necessary. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida, amending financial matters of the city to update purchasing regulations, repealing our ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date.
Where it's that we are in.
They went to an insurance conference. I can't remember where it was at.
Not the insurance.
Somewhere not.
Which is good.
I've been saying they never done it for a while.
Anyways, it's just bringing the. I've been here, I took a month off, so.
Moving the limits up, have a bit out or something to be more in line with.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yes, they both do after change.
Yes.
John, is this one of the ones that I had marked some typos on? Because I don't have it.
That was true. The agenda one.
That was the agenda, the minutes, and that one. And the city of BG second public hearing, right, so city of Perry was on. That was that three that I had.
Should have had it for that one.
It's the same as what it was in the last one, we just changed it. from public- The first reading is the public hearing. About reading.
Anyways, anybody have any questions or comments about the purchasing manual? Or the changes we're making? Any discussion among the board members on anything? Okay,
Agree with
all right, anyone care to? Their second reading, it's gonna be the final
Motion.
reading, so when it, Councilmember Woodfolk has made a motion.
Second,
Councilmember Woodcock,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Fisher.
Yes. Agenda item 6J. City manager to continue discussion on the 5-year capital program or revision or extension thereof, and council will take any action deemed necessary.
Pretty much same last time. I didn't throw the, aquatic center on there. I asked AI what it would cost for the city of Perry to build an aquatic center, and it said $21 million. That's what I put in there.
That's what they asked.
That was for what?
Ouch.
AI said it cost $21 million for the city to build an aquatic center.
That's an expensive swimming pool,
Exactly.
That's AI.
AI has expensive space.
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
I don't believe AI.
At least you admit
It's
it.
a number.
Actually, I think if you put it in the plan for next grants or something on the. Have a number to ask.
Have it there. Okay.
So I would say always put a number. If you don't have a number, then you're not gonna have it.
What's it do? Guess that's being proposed.
Do we know of any local, community or county or city that had an aquatic center that's close around ours, like say in Madison or, okay, Tallahassee would be the one.
Fruitdale Aquatic Center.
McLean,
Aquatic
McLean.
Center.
Is it
What
Is
McLean?
that the one on John Knox Road?
It's city,
Oh.
city.
The one-
Is that the one on John Knox?
Yes.
That's an aquatic center.
John McLean,
I heard about
McLean.
John Knox.
No,
No,
the
John
name of the
Knox
center.
Road.
Name of the center.
No, I don't know.
Where Tallahassee.
Yeah, it's on Jim, is it Jim
I
Lee?
would love to find out a place of 8,025.
It was the one you pulled up, John. That is not true sale. It
City aquatic center.
was John. John McLean. Okay.
Been to one of those.
Looks like $21 million.
Is that the idea to build an indoor aquatic center? Cedar Key has an aquatic center?
Cedar Key.
You want Florida?
Yeah, it's the Gulf, isn't it? Have an airport. Not a big one, but they have one.
Yeah, Cedar City.
I thought it said City.
Oh, Cedar City, okay.
Okay, so.
$7 million in 2008.
Yeah, it's at least $21 million now.
Yeah. 14 million of that coming in the past 3 years.
Yeah, but
For discussion on the CIP. Agenda item 6K, the council to discuss leasing land to Al Smith with Elite Industrial LLC at the 50 acres, and council will take any action deemed necessary.
Your business started here in Perry with like pipe batting, what it sounds like. The Sheriff's letting you use office at the, what we on the left, the Taylor. Takes on the whole way.
Yeah, it's got a garage.
The office been there. That's, I think, at least out that middle section between the two buildings, just a fenced in grass, concrete pad area. He wants to store like a big trailer, some of his equipment. So he can find a permanent home base. But I'd ask y'all, if y'all have to prove any kind of lease.
What's he doing? He's wanting to build a fab shop.
Sounds like. Qualification for more than I have.
Here to speak on it, Mr. Bob? Or can you speak on it?
No, but I can dance around it. There's a pipe fabricator wants to run construction projects all around the southeast out of Taylor County. I'll give it a 2 thumbs up. It's a good deal. They want to obviously be located permanently, but until they get something permanent like West Fraser, they need something temporary. I would be 100% supportive if this isn't getting in the way of something else you already had intended to do. I think we should support it. If you have any questions I can answer, I'd be happy to answer them for you. I don't see that. I see it's a very low risk and high return.
Well, you just need to like lay down yard or something.
Is this on the West Fraser property? Is that where we're talking about? No, where are we talking about?
This is on the city of Perry owned property, and I say that is a short-term solution, long-term they don't.
Okay.
They'll back out their garage.
What?
51 acres across the street from the Foley Sale.
Okay, so what happens? I know where you're talking about now.
So we call
So,
it city of Perry property, so I was a little confused. It's in the
Yeah.
county. It is city property.
Right.
It's not in the city.
so what, this is how long a lease are they asking for?
Was thinking a 6-month range.
6 months? Okay. My only concern would be that if you had somebody that wanted to come in. And they've got their lease, for 6 months. Where does that leave us?
Back out.
What?
We would have a clause to be able to back out the lease. That's the same thing we got with the sheriff now. He knows that economic development's gonna happen here, bringing big jobs. They gotta get out.
Okay, long as that's in writing.
That's also an answer as well. This should be no differently structured than the one in the sheriff's department. We have that lease with them having all the equipment inside that building, but it can be changed if something long-term and permanent.
Right, okay, that was my only concern. Thank you.
So it's about a month-to-month deal type thing. I got you.
Just need an amount. People are charging. How much do you want to charge you?
Oh,
You have,
It's just a square right here.
but just, why don't you just go with what, hitting Yates on one end of it?
Yates is on this end.
Why don't you just go with what you're charging Yates?
They got to build with it.
I know, but I'm talking about the land. Or is it just kind of lumped together?
It's long.
I got you.
I think their lease is $1,200 a month.
Yates.
Either 1,200 or 2,000.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
John, why don't you and Hope just get together and just bring something back to us? And we'll be gone night.
how soon are they wanting an answer?
Very soon. He's already got, he's in his office in here. The sheriff let him use his office to be able to have a final address and things like that. He told me he was overflowing there, so I don't know.
Do you have any ideas? Do you have any ideas about what we should charge? Since you're over all of this.
Yeah,
stuff.
I respectfully leave that to our next city council.
I don't blame you, Mr. Ball.
Figured you would do that.
Can you give us a range?
I always want me to tell you, I do not know what rentals should be, that would be outside my scope. But we have a chance to have a long-term business plan itself in Taylor County and grow. And we should be thinking long-term, this is gonna help us all. In short term, we think about how many $100 or $1,000 should we get a month, but long term, let's make them feel welcome and glad that they're here. And then when they can buy something like a West Fraser site, just use that as an example, that they'll, I think we'll be glad that we open the door and help them connect the dots to success in Taylor County.
Yep.
All right.
$500 for the first 6 months.
Now,
I
can
still
you
don't know
measure
how
the
much
area
space we
that you
have.
suspect, not give an estimate?
I won't see the fence lines. I think I know exactly where it is.
Fence line, back up a little bit. The fence lines. Just on this side, it runs through the old, gas area.
Right there where the road turns left right here.
It kind of goes straight off.
Down into here somewhere, right?
I think that road right there goes straight in there to the fence line or inside the fence line.
It does, and you turn in to the other one. Generally speaking. Anyway, you only just, that's probably a good idea. You ought to get together and come up with something. And get back to us. That work?
They might want to know something for 2 weeks. Yeah, there.
The faster you do this, the better the chance that they'll actually come.
Just set the price per acre, and however many acres they want, just kind of do it that way. Local commercial space between 85 and 100.
All right, so how much is Yates leasing, ma'am?
That's why I left it up to them.
John, how much is Yates leasing? How many acres? 5, 6?
Say it again.
How many acres is Yates leasing? 5, 6, 7? They got the 2 buildings and some property and plus the building they put in. Woodlands office, cruise shed, the office they put in, the oil building too, probably. Bullshit, I call it. Those are names we called it 30 years ago. Probably closer to 10 acres.
You think you'd hope to get to that?
500 a month for 6 months and renegotiate after that.
$500.
They just want a portion of
They just
the
want a
land
piece of,
that
they
we
just want a
own?
piece of dirt.
Just a portion of what we have though, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's not the whole thing.
Right.
Something like that, I guess. 1 acre, yeah, 1 acre.
One acre, right at it.
Excuse me.
I'm okay with that.
Sounds good to me.
I think we need to give them an answer.
All right. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Hmm? I'll make a motion, we do it for $500.
Have a second? Have a second?
Second.
For clarity, Councilman or Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Motion is for $500 per month.
What?
Your motion is for $500 per month.
Yes.
$500.
Yes, please.
Councilmember Woodfall,
No.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes,
Vice Mayor
but
Landry.
I would, excuse me, I would like for John to go out and make sure that it's not worth more than 5. Whatever you
We shouldn't be voting on this.
Well, which
That's biking it out.
is acceptable.
Exactly.
Well, we got one person saying, we need it now.
They need it now.
No, I was
Yeah,
thinking-
that's what,
I was just gonna ask, is there an amount that you feel is acceptable at 500 if it's less than an acre or half an acre? What measurement are you putting to the 500?
I don't know.
It's almost an acre. That's what he said. He just
John,
measured it out. It's almost
you're-
1 acre.
You're pretty adept on, rental rates. Just base it off the Yates lease.
And it's only 6 months. I mean,
You can come up with an idea for the land value based on that lease, I would think.
so are we not gonna vote on that motion?
Y'all have to vote on the leak anyway. It's written up. Y'all have to vote on the leak.
I think we're in the middle of the vote, and there was actually clarifications, and would it be fair to say that Councilwoman Landry would like $500 for up to an acre for 6 months? If they agree to that.
$500
Per month for 6 months.
What did I say?
$500. You didn't specify the per month. So it's-
Okay.
Right.
that we were just making that clear, but you're right, for the 1 acre. Size, correct, John?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we got a motion, a second on the table. Need to either finish that off or something.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Okay. Agenda item 6L. The council to discuss health insurance and council will take any action deemed necessary.
Y'all all right with it? I think I want to bid out our health insurance for this coming October, whatever you need. See what options are out there. We're paying under $2,800 a month for family coverage.
What we using,
That's
what we using that, John?
33,600 a year for family coverage. We're using. When it's Florida Blue, but that's not good. Sit over there.
No.
Bid it out and see what's out there. Cost versus coverage.
Current, you're saying our current policy is 28 for family coverage,
2750 somewhere there.
and we're paying out how much a month? Is that what was that the other figure you gave?
Family coverage, the city and employees pay 33,000.
33,000
For
a month.
family coverage. 70% of that city pays, 30% the employee pays.
Does the city cover 100% of an employee, like if you're alone?
For me, our percent, that was right. Anything y'all need, Carly.
Yeah, salary.
Believe you get better rates.
Not just salary, if it was salary, it'd be the all the
No,
other.
no, I'm saying with them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, does it cover 100% of an employee and then the percentage of the family? No,
It's 70-30.
no matter what. Okay.
Might be 60-40 and 70-30 for supervisors. But if over the past couple of years, if they had to, I always worked in Eagle, but had to finagle it to make sure we stayed under the affordable health care. If the city doesn't pay enough of it, we're not giving the right kind of health insurance.
Gotcha.
Our health insurance is pretty good.
It ought to be for 33,000.
Who's it with?
Probably. It's one that's a really low deductible, low out of pocket, but you pay a pound premium every month you're paying.
Yeah.
I can support you.
I don't know if we'll get better results back. Some of the ones I've talked to, they're probably not. I really wish we could get on state money.
Well, it's worth looking for better rates
I would.
for the same coverage.
What was, have you asked about getting on the state Insurance plan,
That's our lobbyist put a bug in their ear while up there.
well,
Everybody plans right at $2,000 for 800 savings per month. And there, depending on what kind of employee you are, I think the employee only pays 25 or 50 per month, the state covers the rest of it. 180, and the state's covering the $1,820.
Yep.
That'd be a huge savings for us over 33,600 a year.
it would be nice, I mean, we can participate in FRS if we could do the same thing with the insurance.
Employees do we have?
90, like only about, just guess it's probably 60 with health insurance. Maybe 65.
You just taking any action on anything or just
No, I just wanted.
informational item?
If I get all that paperwork together to bid it out, I want to make sure y'all were behind me what I was doing.
Have you been looking already? Have you been looking already?
I met with 5 different brokers.
Okay.
Our pool's so small and we have some with health issues, it's hard to get good pricing.
Yeah. Especially now.
If it was my city, I'd probably get self-insured, but I'd probably wreck us.
Yeah. Okay, agenda item 6M. Council to approve Amy Lovett moving to the 5th member seat on the Perry Fire Pension Board of Trustees and take any action deemed necessary.
Well, that is what she went from the city appointed one, since she's moving out of the city limits to the county, she can't be appointed by the city because she's not living inside the city limits anymore. So we just moved her from there to the 5th seat, which is basically,
It's a board appointed seat that anybody can sit in. They don't even have to live in Taylor County. In any location in that seat.
is it a board appointed seat?
It is a board appointed seat, the board.
Pension
voted at
board?
the last-
Yeah,
the
our board,
Yeah,
not
the
council.
trustee board.
Yeah.
Appointed seat, they voted on it and approved it at the last meeting, it has to be approved through council now.
So what do we have to do if it's a board appoint, if it's fire board?
Council still has to approve.
Bless it. Bless it, yes, you can.
We still have one opening on the city councils, pension board. We
Yeah.
still have one opening that we need filled.
Right.
You need a vote on this?
I'll entertain a motion. Motion, have a second.
Second.
Councilmember Woodball,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6N and 6O. Anybody come up with any data for anybody? Anybody wants to serve? Haven't either. Good deal. About somebody for the fire board now. That's- All right. Miss Shirley, you mentioned before you wanted to. You're on the North Central Florida Regional Planning Council.
I'm stepping down until I get my health issues
Okay,
under control.
all right.
The next meeting is on Thursday.
This
Yeah.
Thursday.
They have meetings every fourth Thursday of each month. Either virtually, in person. It's time for somebody else to get their feet wet.
Where do they meet?
Lake City. And they will give you travel funds for your gas.
Okay.
Now, when I was gonna, I stayed overnight. And you can do it virtually. You need to show up every now and then.
Anyway, do we have anyone who would like to volunteer in your nominations for someone to serve on this board? It's meeting once every Thursday, fourth Thursday at 6
What's it
or
on?
7.
It starts at 7.
7.
Once a month,
Mhm.
okay,
Starts at 7.
okay. I'll give it a try.
I currently serve on the Clearing House Committee.
Hmm.
That meeting starts at 6.
Kind of a pre-show,
Every-
pre-meeting to the regular meeting.
Yeah, it's different, yeah.
Almost like a committee in the session, I guess you'd say.
It starts at 6 and
And there's dinner involved too.
the other meeting starts at 7.
You volunteer, Ms. Landry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. I have the information in my car.
Yes, I would need information. Okay.
John would also need to that.
Get stuff switched around.
Yeah, Scott, good.
Guess we can go and do a formal vote on that. To have a motion. Anyone?
That motion.
Ms. Landry?
You're gonna accept, she'd accept it. Thank you.
All right, you second?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll take it over later.
Councilmember Woodfall,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes,
Mayor Kettering.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your service, Mrs. Hampton.
yes.
I know that's a commitment
Yeah.
to do that one. Okay, approval of the minutes from April 8th, 2025 regular session. Do I have a motion or is there any discussion about them? Just the minutes from the last meeting.
Yes, something changed.
There were several typos, took it by. Yesterday.
The minutes, the rest were on the agenda. That's already corrected, that's the new set.
Okay.
Have a motion?
Second,
Councilmember Woodfall,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
yes.
Mayor Kettering.
Yes. Return, John.
Sure, Reggie told you, they don't want to hear. They did. And I agree with all three. Thanks. Oh, you're just sitting there and expense.
They do like it, but
They're interviewing you.
yeah,
I had some banners designed and nobody liked them, but. Hey.
Well, say what we said.
They said it looks like a horror film.
Well,
Oh, that does look like police.
And what you see.
Need like a sun burning in the background or something.
and hit it down kind of low 14.
I had some like this.
I like it. Here.
In that color?
Maybe not.
No,
Oh,
whatever
Not
color.
green. Maybe not.
No, let's say, yeah, try another color.
like we had it around there.
That would be a race.
Yeah, the green looks kind of scary.
Yeah.
Try to stick with the Perry green.
That's not heritage.
Here's one I have.
Let it be in.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I like
The
it.
pictures are pretty.
And we got the heart that put
I didn't know what that was, I guess.
but I like that.
Thank you.
You only one vote, John.
All right.
Way better.
Anything else, John? see Carly. It's not here. Jamie?
I don't have
You know,
anything new to report.
Several meetings ago.
Oh, sorry, I did. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Several
Okay.
meetings ago, we got approval to purchase the metal bidding off of a quote because we couldn't get any bids. Since that time, the quote has increased the expense on that, wanting for extra concrete, other things. We did find another company out of Lake City that quoted us the original price that we looked for and on the pad we have existing. I just need permission to go ahead and move forward with that quote. We're not paying an extra $6,800.
Is this a quote for 16?
Yeah, 16,
853.
yeah. That's actually about the same price we originally were quoted.
Okay. Have you got some kind of ventilation in it too?
Yeah, we're gonna take care of that.
So don't become a hot box? Yeah. Okay.
Where are you putting it?
In the compound across from the police department. We already have a concrete pad there that's suitable, it's already poured and it's sticking up.
Did you motion?
Yes, I made one.
Yes, I mean second.
Councilmember Woodfall,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes.
That's all I have.
All right. RB?
Yesterday we received the washer and dryer, we got off the grant. They bumped the gear, extractor and dryer. We got them in yesterday, the guys hooked it up. In the process of hooking them up today and tomorrow, so they should be good to go. MDA, Commercial Electricity Association, has called and wanting us to, help them out again, so we're in the process of getting that set up, probably around Memorial Day weekend, maybe. Probably out in front of Martin Winn Dixie. We hadn't set a day or time yet, but it's in the beginning, so. It won't be Memorial Day weekend probably, but it'll be around that time. That's all I got.
Very good. Thank you. Danielle?
All I have is the employee that y'all, the city paid to get a CDL license, check this, pass this test, he's very grateful.
Very good. Let's make that. Investing in people, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Andrew?
Okay.
You good?
We've already kind of had a discussion about the public notice, but other than that, we're steady rolling.
Sean?
Looking forward to working with the engineers, getting a lot of work done, so glad to hear that. We're ready to roll.
Good deal. Garrett is not here. In the Shirley?
One thing. John's evaluation is about 4 months. It's due.
The store notes and things.
It's due in February.
Just did.
It's due in February. I guess we need to get that taken care of.
We have a standard evaluation sheet we come up with.
Stephanie, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't have anything that I know of, but she may.
Stephanie.
You just email that to us or something maybe, or, okay. But even if you like it printed, either way.
Either way, it's fine.
What was that?
I say either way, credit or email.
Rent it from me.
Okay. That's true. Yes, but in the next packets, I guess.
I'll stop by and pick it up. We should do it at the next meeting.
Yeah.
We should have his evaluation by the next meeting.
Completed and done.
If it was due in February, she's saying we need to do it by the next meeting.
Okay. Well,
So if they email it to it, we can do it.
okay, email it or swing by City Hall and get it or whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Have it on there, I guess, put on the agenda for the next meeting, or do we? Okay. That'll work. Okay. Landry. Well, thank you all very much.
Well, I want to do it anything else outside. Getting everybody else.
I'm a step. I think still them.
Man,
You go ahead. You plan on attending the one Thursday?
Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the presentation.
Oh, yeah, the whiteboards, yeah. They just,
It was what he was saying.
yeah.
What is